Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Okay, there we are. Let's see. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Yo, I don't think they can hear me. Oh no, they can't. All right, we straight. Who's watching already? Oh, I am. Yeah. I was about to say, damn, son, who is waiting? Somebody already watching? Oh, I should probably edit that. All right, so we should be good. Damn, that sounds better than I thought. All right, cool. So before I send it out, I'm just gonna get my phone, get something to drink, and then we'll start this damn thing. Let it run. Let it run. Yeah, I hope it goes well. Take care, man. Yo, 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 yo. Like that. Nice in the background. and gentlemen. Let me know if you can hear me. I don't think anybody's going to be watching me. But if you are or you watch this later, I go by HT or Jesus, depending how close you can get to me. But today, as you guys can see on the title, I'm just kind of speaking out loud. I got some things on my mind. As you guys can hear, we got the track in the background, produced originally by Sila, first DJ signed to MTI Records, and we are definitely gonna get into that and just kind of, I got a couple things on mind about it, and then we will end the stream with reacting to the video we dropped on Sila's channel as far as Maha Electro Out in Nature. In that special episode we did in a different environment, but just wanted to do a stream tonight and just, touch bases, see what's going on, see how it's feeling. I'm literally by myself at the studio today, but that's all good. It's kind of it's cool like that. I like that. Sometimes you just gotta be out here by yourself and do the damn thing. 'Cause some people, but so well. First thing is first, ladies and gentlemen. So as you guys can see, MTI Records, it's something that is a thing now. Something that I didn't think we would get here. I didn't plan for it. It just kind of occurred, right? Because first it was just the studio, right? And developing MTI as a creative place for people to come and do their thing, and I even said it before. As far as MTI, just it could be anything, and right now it's literally anything. Right now it is officially a record label, and our first signee and part of the co-owner of the label is Sila, a good friend of mine, family member, and as you guys can hear in the background, we're playing Switch by the track, one of my actual favorite tracks that he's produced so far. I'll switch it up as we go. I think it's 4 tracks, but yeah. But however, yeah, I just want to talk to you, and as you guys could tell, we are a record company now, and as we continue to learn and develop this idea, this notion of having a record company and all that, you'll see more added to it as far as artists, as far as producers, and whatever the case may be. But one thing I wanted to get into first is that if you know me and if you're watching this, I do not like EDM music. I am not a techno fan. Even in the era where people were going to the raves and popping and whatnot, I was not doing none of that. I always thought EDM music is very boring to me because I come from more of a hip hop, So let me see. They're telling me I need to speak louder. I think I need to turn on my mic. Give me a minute. Let me see. I'm speaking too low. Let's see what's going on. Whoa. So give me a minute. I'm gonna turn on the music a little bit more, and then I'm gonna double check my mic to make sure everybody can hear us. Give me a minute. All right, let's try that one more time. So if you're watching, just please let me know if you can hear me clearly or not. I did turn it up a little bit on the mixer, and I gotta get better at talking on these mics and then being on camera and whatnot. But as I was saying, MTI is now officially a record company. Paperwork and just how we're going about everything right now, that's kind of the focal point, like I said, along with my good partner Sila, one of the best electronic DJs coming out the city. I said it. HT said it. So please believe me. But like I've said in the past, MTI can be anything it needs to be. Whatever it needs to be in the moment, it will be. And right now, in this moment that we're existing in, it's a record company. And that's kind of what we're doing right now. And our first signee is Katsinsila. He is a producer, a DJ. He focuses on EDM music, electronic music, whatever you want to call it for the people out there. And it's interesting. It's different. It's fun. It's definitely something out of my comfort zone, right? And I love it. And I love that uncomfortability that I have right now with this whole process that we're getting into. I love it. I'm appreciating it. I'm having fun with it. I'm learning. But if you're watching this and you know me and you actually know me and you get to be around me, you know I do not like electronic music whatsoever. I would even go as far as saying electronic music is very boring. EDM music to me is always been very boring. And I kind of wanted to talk or speak on that today, just to say my piece, because that's one thing that this is why this whole experiment that we're doing right now is so interesting. Because I do not like electronic music. I'm not riding around bumping EDMD or anything like that. I'm bumping Katsinsila, as you guys can hear in the background a little bit. Feeling Blue tracks playing on the background. Please go stream that. If you're an EDM fan. Great producer, original track by Katsinsila. Shout out to him if I have him in here or not. But yeah, I am not a techno fan. I've obviously I've been to some raves here and there, but we were not going to rave. We were going there for different reasons. But anyways, yeah, I'm not a techno fan. I don't get it. And as I tell Katsinsila, my whole thing is that I could focus on is that the production part, because I do have a good year, especially for how he's been producing and the clean mixing he's been doing, as you guys can hear in the background. I love that. I can appreciate that. And also, as far as me just kind of, running this record company, one thing as far as my personal preference might not be electronic music, I do understand it. And it is the music of the future, obviously, right? Because everybody's still super fans, especially in the city still. Shoot, internationally, nationwide, people love electronic music, techno music, right? So so it might not be my preference, but I definitely understand it, and I know that it has a place, and I know that it's not gonna stop being the music of the future, right? It has this incredible fan base internationally, nationally. People still follow it. People still love the DJs. Those festivals are getting sold out back to back, and they're having like weekends to weekends type festival of just pure EDM, techno, electronic music. And excuse me if I'm calling it out. If you're in there, let me know what's the correct name to call that. But I do understand it, and I do understand the place for it, and I do understand that people love this, right? And even though it's not my personal preference, it's not in my playlist unless it's Katsinsila. I got Katsinsila in the playlist. And right now, my favorite song from him is Switch. I think that was an incredible song. But aside from not being Katsinsila, I'm not riding around to this. This is not what I live my life to. It's just not what I do. But, however, I mean, I am aware enough and conscious enough to understand that people love this, and there's a community to be served and a community to bring, and I do understand it as being the music of the future, and it will continue. I don't think it has to stop, because I mean it's been around since the late 60s disco era, and in the 70s, 80s, and it hasn't gone away, right? You see people blow up, DJs blow up every day. So aside from not being my personal preference, I do understand it. So yeah, I do understand it. And for me, that's enough. That's enough. Where, especially from a good friend of mine, a partner of mine, a family member of mine, I'm gonna back him up, and we're gonna go as far as making a record company and blowing up the tracks and blowing up Katinsila as a DJ. And by the way, if you've been living who knows where, please go check out Mile High Electro Mixcloud. I think we're doing on Kick now, 9 p.m. Mountain Time. He does live mixing every Saturday. Go check him out. This dude is passionate. He doesn't play. And please go follow Katsinsila on all platforms, including his YouTube. And we'll talk about his YouTube here a little bit. But yeah, so as of right now, MTI needs to be a record company. So it is a record company because that's what it's called for. And if you, I mean, I'm sure whoever's watching kind of has been knowing what's going on as far as the environment that you see me in right now, our studio that we have here. In like I said earlier, it's uncomfortable for me to deal with music that I'm not a fan of or especially care for, or but I understand it. And I understand my good friend Gatinsila's passion for it, and I see it every day when he produces, when he live mixes every episode of my electro, and just how far we've gone just on his pure love of EDM music. So for that time being, if I can offer a pushing, a motivation, an environment for us to develop these things, we're gonna do that. That's kind of my thing. I'm good at developing environments for other creatives to kind of find themselves and understand what needs to happen. So, and I keep repeating myself because I'm literally talking to myself. I think I got one person in here, but anyways. So MTI Records is a thing. Right now, the main focus is Cantitila. And anybody in there that has seen his stuff, heard his stuff, and we're looking to do live shows. That's another thing we got to break through. So if you're out there and you're hearing this, or you'll see this later, for now, just comment on my YouTube page or DM Katsinsila at any of his social media. And to be honest with you folks, I don't really do social media like that. I don't care. I don't care to play that game. But if you care to follow me, just subscribe to my YouTube, HT Approve. MTI's YouTube is coming soon too. And if you care about my perspective of photography, I am on this random social media called Vero. That's probably the only place I really post my photos and my perspectives, as the photo you guys see on screen right now is one of my designs that I recently put out. But if you care about my perspective, that's where I'm at. And yeah, I mean, I do use Tumblr. I'm not going to lie about that, but I'm not that active. But I do post photos along with my writing there too, if you care about that. So yeah. So and then another thing that I don't think I've said out loud, and I think that's why I wanted to be alone today, because aside from MTI, there's 2-3 more things still brewing up right now. One of them is called GT. GT stands for Good Trip. I'm not gonna go into details exactly what that is as of right now, but that's another company that we've been working on and we've been progressing on and we've been learning, and we're trying to get it to the point where it becomes something really real, and we can speak about it more openly when we get to that point. But to me, that's the main point of MTI. MTI is kind of the large company that all these other ones are gonna hang under it, right? That's kind of the idea that I always had, especially where we're at right now as far as this whole thing. Let me go ahead and play another, because it kind of got quiet. Oh, I just turned it down. Anyways, yeah, let me play that monster track. Go stream that monster track on all DSPs, please. Originally produced by Katsinsila. And go give him a follow on all platforms. But yeah, So as I was saying, GT or Good Trip, and if my people out there watching me right now, y'all know what I'm talking about. But that's another company that we definitely have brewing that we haven't really, I haven't really spoken about it. Like the people I've spoken about is just my close knit circle, and the people that can even get wind of these things that are occurring or we're trying to do. Right. So that's another thing that should be coming. And like I said, it's gonna be many of the companies under MTI, because that's kind of the whole idea. MTI is kind of the face of everything. It's kind of the director as far as everything, and then these little companies that we're going to start building is these different things that we're kind of interested in and passionate about, and we're willing to do the work. Obviously, like look at me right now. I'm streaming, maybe one viewer, maybe no viewers. Not making no money from this right now, but I believe in it. I'm building it. I'm trying, right? And that's another thing I want to kind of touch base. And I don't know if he's going to hear this or not, but I want to give a shout out to Katinsila, because he's the main reason we're both the main reason, right? But having him around and having that motivation and that eagerness to go do things, try things, and actually execute things has been amazing things. And I shout him out for that, because that's kind of his specialty. And later when we react to the Mile High Electro video on his channel, you guys see what I mean. And another reason why we even have a studio, because obviously we're gonna record music, we record podcasts, and as you guys can see me, we're literally live streaming right now, right? But more content is coming. We are getting better at that as far as editing. We're figuring things out, but more content is coming, because I'm under the big impression, especially how things are going now as far as the market, as far as just business in general. It doesn't matter what kind of business you have. If you're going to do any kind of marketing right now, content is marketing, period. So that's another big thing that MTI will make sure we develop, and we make sure we get it to a certain degree where we can do that efficient enough, consistently, right? And I know you've probably seen some random podcasts right now on my channel, just with some of my team members, some of the characters that I have close to me right now. Shout out to them, the Good Trip crew, and the MTI crew, right? And hopefully to add more, we need more characters, more ideas, different perspectives. But that's another thing I think MTI is really working on, as far as getting efficient at putting out content, understanding it, how to do it, and understanding what we are in our brand, right? And I think that's kind of the thing that I'm really learning right now, because like I said earlier, I don't like EDM music, but I also don't care about pop music, because pop music's never made me feel anything. You know what I mean? Probably the farthest I can listen to pop right now, and I won't lie, I'll be honest, Post Malone, right? But his new album's actually kind of fire. Go listen to that if you have a heart out there. You know what I mean? But I don't really like pop music. I don't care about pop music. And the thing about Katinsila and his talent is that he loves that genre, especially that genre in EDM. So right now for me, that learning curve is understanding how we're going to market this, understanding how I can be part of it, understanding how I can back it up in my way. And that's kind of the uncomfortableness that I've been having lately. It's just really understanding that market and understanding it enough where I can back it up well enough, and I can stand behind it, and I can sell it to other people, And that's kind of the main point that I want to touch on right now, because I don't like EDM. I definitely don't like pop music. And then now I have this one thing that involves those two things consistently. So now that puts me in a place where I have to learn how to be part of that. I have to learn how to adapt. And most important, I have to find my space in it, because as many of you know, anything that I like to talk about or anything I am about, I'm living it. I don't just say things to say things. Either I been through it, I lived it, or I'm trying to figure it out as we speak right now. And me getting into this EDM pop lane and understanding how to market and how to find his community, develop him. I have to find a spot where I'm okay with backing it up, standing by it, being about it, right? That's why every time, for whoever knows how long this will take to develop to a certain degree, that's always going to be the first thing I start with. I do not like EDM music. I do not like electronic music. But my friend, my family member, a person I really trust and appreciate, and it's the reason why I'm sitting where I'm sitting, right? He loves this. He's passionate about. So my preference aside, I have to carve my little part so where I could fit in, so I can be comfortable enough to market it, to sell it to people in a genuine way. And that's kind of where I'm at with everything. I'm really trying to learn that, because like I said earlier, none of this is my preference. I do not like EDM music. It's boring as hell. And I definitely don't like pop music in that way, because if you ask me, it's kind of corny. But that's me. I come from a different environment. I was raised a little different. That's why I think that. But that's not here near or there, right? So it's just finding that sweet spot where I'm comfortable enough backing this stuff up, learn how to market it, and learn how to speak that language, that because people obviously love this. I mean, this Katsinsila loves this. He hasn't let go. I think the only track that I've heard so far, and it, go listen to 2 bootleg remixes he just dropped on his YouTube channel, by the way, too. It's sounding good right now. But just being comfortable with being part of this world and being part of this world that I've never cared to exist in, that's kind of where I'm at, and that's what I'm really trying to learn. I'm really trying to adapt, because if it's going to say MTI Records, my face has to be there, you know what I mean? So we're figuring that out. And like I told Katsinsila, as far as the tracks goes, I can't say I genuinely like the song. What I could say is that the production is good. That synthesizer is good. That drum is good. That overall mix sounds great. And when it comes to that, that's where I'm going to focus on the production part and just how it sounds overall. I don't think I'm going to, because like I told you, I don't like to do anything that I actually are not interested in. So I'm never going to try to speak about any of these tracks as if I actually enjoy it. I'm going to tell you it's a great song, but I'm going to tell you it's a great song from the production standpoint, how clean everything sounds. And when you turn it up loud in your speakers in your car, that's what I'm going to sound. And that's where I'm going to try to find my focus as far as supporting this, pushing this, and making this a thing, and really blowing up Katsinsila, because I do believe in his talent. I truly believe in his talent. Aside from my preference, I truly believe in his talent. I see it every day. I see it when he's producing on his laptop, coming up with new ideas. I see it on a weekly basis as far as his live stream on Mixcloud or whatever the case may be. Please go check it out, 9 p.m. Mountain Time. I think we're on episode 76